Hey guys, today we're going to be going through my video game pickups for the month of February 2022. So you know ahead of time there is more here that you're not seeing, so make sure you stay tuned. Real quick, if you guys want to get straight to the pickup, skip to this time code here because I have a lot of stuff to explain about last month, so I do apologize for not being able to get the video out on time, because if you guys saw my post a couple days ago, the camera that I use to normally film all of my videos with, I didn't have access to because it belongs to a friend, and I had to give it back to him because he uses it for work and all that. And my backup method to record videos was with my cell phone. And unfortunately, a few days ago, that died on me permanently. And that caused a lot of pains, because, let alone, can't make videos, what have you, but, it's a cell phone, a lot of important stuff was on there, and it was just an absolute hassle, getting my replacement phone in, which is what I'm recording with this now. It's the new S22 Plus from Samsung. Really, really good phone that I upgraded from an S8 Plus, and man, I am loving this phone so far. But yeah, if you're wondering why there was a delay in the videos, I apologize for that. That's exactly why. I didn't have a way to film it, and I was busy trying to get in an actual camera that I would use to film it, which again is with my phone. Plus, when I finally got it in, I had a lot of important stuff to get done with it first, obviously, before I could even consider once again making videos and all that. So appreciate your guys' patience, and I promise you the wait is worth it though, because again I got a lot of good stuff here that originally I thought I wouldn't have a lot of stuff to show for this month, but that turned out not to be the case at all. Just a bunch of stuff came in the mail, and in the middle of this month, I did take a trip up to Alpena, Michigan, so I could go to the stores of Chaotic Games and Bob's Bullpen, both stores I made videos on. Make sure you go check those out, and just took advantage of some sales that was going on. Got a lot of good stuff here overall, and other stuff that again you're not seeing that also came in the mail, but hey, I'll make sure and show those to you guys. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into pickups here, because you guys waited long enough as is, so let's get into the stuff. So I think we'll start out with the biggest thing, and if the thumbnail didn't give it away, give me a second to get it up here. The Horizon Forbidden West Regalia Edition for the PS5. So yeah, one of the big highlights for this month. Horizon Forbidden West came out, so far the biggest exclusive for the PS5 so far. It's a sequel to the previous big hit Horizon Zero Dawn, which I also got the collector's edition for on the PS4 as well back then. So just got the Regalia edition. There is a different collector's edition of this that is just called the collector's edition. This is the next tier up and the best version of the game you could get. Still haven't opened it because I just haven't had time to do so. A lot of other stuff coming up that has prevented me from playing the game. But even then, this is still sealed, because a downside to this, and it even says right on the box right here, no game disc included. So they go all out with this edition, as well as the collector's edition too, and they don't include a game disc. Whatever. I'll down the road, when I do have more times, I'll consider getting a standard physical copy of the game, so that I actually have a disc and all that. But yeah, for now this is staying sealed, and hope you guys are enjoying the game though, because from everything I looked up, it's just been getting stellar reviews, just like the first game. And yeah, it's a great start for PS5 overall, I gotta say. So yeah, quite happy to have that, and that thing is huge, as clearly you guys can see. That is the biggest collector's edition of a game I have ever gotten, that it is just so huge and heavy, if you guys couldn't tell. So yeah, that's that. And before I forget, I did get in 3 first 4 figurines. The first one I got, it is the what was it, the Luigi's Mansion 3 figure, where it's Luigi and his ghost dog, a Poltergust, I think it was called. That recently came in that I ordered like months ago. I was really happy to have that. Of course, don't have it here as it's over at my work office because I just wanted to display it there. And another one that I got later on is the, it literally actually just came in today. It's the Pac-Man 40th anniversary figure, where if you guys like take a look at the picture, it is like a stand thing that you see like Pac-Man, like a 3D render of him on this stand, and there's like a mirror back there that if you turn on a light for the system, you will see like in that mirror there's like blue lines in the corners to like resemble the maze, and then like behind him is just Pac dots that you see repeatedly in there, and you can like turn Pac-Man around in there and it will get him in a position where it looks like he's eating the pellets now. So yeah, those two figures, really happy to have those. Those are really cool. And sorry, I lied. The third figure, it's not a first four figures. It's a xenomorph figure. That's, I think it's the warrior type. Alien is a franchise that I love to death so much that if any good-looking xenomorph figures is out there, like I always tend to get those. So yeah, just real quick, wanted to show you guys that as I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so next for everything up here, so now that those things are out of the way, let's start out with some hardware stuff. I guess we'll start out with this. This is the Eon Gaming GC-HD Mark II. I did recently make a video explaining my story with this that I recommend you guys go check that out because it is a big hassle I went through to get this. So basically the short version is this adapter, it's a adapter you plug in the back of your GameCube as long as it has the digital AV out port, which is only in the first run versions of the GameCube. And you would be able to use Wii component cables, so you don't have to use the extremely expensive, rare GameCube component cables, the official ones, and it gives you an HDMI out as well. So that way you can use this to access the progressive scan modes for games to get the best possible picture quality out of the games. But yeah, so the story with this is the fourth one I have gotten from Castlemania Games that I ordered from. Go watch that video again, like I said, to get the full story on it. It was a nightmare to deal with, and even after all that this does finally work. Like, if you have no other options, fine, like, do get it. But if you have the ability to get something else, though, I would recommend it, though, because these things are not built well at all. That if you have the option, I would recommend something else, or unless if you need like both the outputs, so you can take advantage of this, and plus this is dual output capable, so you can have like one HDMI going to a 4K TV and another one, the component going to like a CRT, so you have two separate screens going on at once on one system and all that, say like for a Smash Melee tournament, you could say. But yeah, like I said, go watch the video that I made on that based on Castlemania Games and Eon Gaming. I explained the full story there. This next one here, this came in like the first week of February, and let me tell you, this is something really special, and yes, this is the bag that it came in. It's a RetroTink 5X. If you're unfamiliar, the RetroTink line of products, it is an upscaling series of products made by a guy named Mike Chi from RetroTink, obviously. This, at least as of today, is arguably the best upscaler you can get for your retro consoles. Basically, if you're unfamiliar, you will use, say, like S-Video or component ports, or even composite if you still, for some reason, want to use that, or even a SCART input, that these would be coming from your old retro consoles, and you can then get an HDMI out, and you can send that to like your TV or a capture card if you want to like record footage or stream like your original consoles or what have you, and it upscales them. So that way they look a lot better on a modern TV or like on a stream, what have you, because with the original resolutions that the retro consoles outputted, like it was only possible on CRTs, and that if you somehow can use these ports on a modern TV, the picture quality looks awful. Like a blurry mess that you can't tell what's going on, or just the picture just overall doesn't look good. So yeah, that's what upscalers do, is like a short version. And the RetroTing 5X, in my opinion, the best one to get, because it's like a plug and play option, just works as soon as you plug in your stuff. You don't have to configure anything, though it does give you the options though in its menu settings if you want to like tinker stuff with it even more. But yeah, I highly recommend to get this if you want the best possible picture quality out of your retro systems. It can be expensive, yeah, I know, but hey, compared to this, even like the cheaper stuff, it's just like the quality's not there at all. So if you want to get, it's like you spend more, you get very, very good picture quality out of that stuff. So, alright, so on to games here finally. So this first one here, this is a PSP import game from Japan, and the only reason I got this because this is another PSP game that has 2 UMD discs. That is Little Buster's Converted Edition. This is like a visual novel type game, as you guys probably guessed by looking at the cover. But yeah, like I said, it is one that comes on 2 UMD discs, interestingly enough. The only other ones that I'm aware of so far is Final Fantasy Type 0, and there was another one I can't remember. I did show it off in a pickups video showing it off. Oh, it was a Legend of Heroes game. That's what it was. But yeah, so far these 3 games, those are the only ones that I know of today that has 2 different UMD discs to play the game. Interestingly enough. All right. Next one, some PS5 games here. This first one is from VGNYsoft.com, I think they were called. I ordered this like months ago and finally came in this month. It's Drunken Fist, totally accurate beat 'em up. The cover art and the name definitely is quite interesting, as you can see. It's basically like a 3D style beat 'em up game, kind of like Streets of Rage, as you could probably tell. It's got like a weird cell shading graphics art style that I mainly picked this up because it was like a limited release on the website that I mentioned that I got it from. I think it's still in stock on the website. I could be wrong on that though, but yeah, that's the main reason I wanted to get it, because it's just a limited release for the PS5. I did go over to my local GameStop like much earlier this month because had like some coupons to use up, and I saw that this was at like a pretty good price on top of like my coupon that I had. That is Yakuza Like a Dragon. I do have the the Pixel Heart limited edition of this game, but I didn't have a North American copy of the game, so I just went ahead and got it. I have been recently getting into like the whole Yakuza type games, but I will say Judgment is probably my favorite game compared to the ones that I've played so far, but I do look forward to playing this though, because again, I'm a big fan of this whole franchise now. Right, this next one, I believe there's around maybe like either like 1,000 or 2,000 copies of this that were ever made, and I believe this was from Red Art Games from their website online. It is In the Rays of Light. This is like a walking simulator type game. It looks similar to what was that one game called? The Talos Principle, something like that, but it seems to have like less puzzle elements compared to what that game had. But yeah, I just wanted to get it because it was a very limited release, and it is a European import too, as you can tell by the PEGI system right there. I think it's still available on their website, so if you want to get a copy of it, like consider getting it sooner rather than later before it's out of stock and you have to pay double the price for it. Alright, this one game, this is from a Limited Run's website. That is Treasures of the Aegean Collector's Edition. This is a Metroidvania type of game that has an interesting art style to it, though personally when I see like gameplay of it, I'm not much of a big fan of the way it looks. But regardless, this is still an independently made game that has is a Metroidvania game, which I love that game genre so much that I want to try and support like any game that is like that. So yeah, the nice collector's edition release from Limited Run Games, PS5. And these next two here are also from them as well. This is this one here. It's weird. Dark Complete Edition. I don't remember what this game was about. I just remember that this was up for sale on Limited Run's website for a while. So until it was like on its last few days that it was going to be up on the store, that's when I picked it up. I believe this game is available on like other websites besides Limited Run, because this isn't considered as part of like the PS5 collection of Limited Run's catalog for the system. But yeah, it looked pretty interesting at the time that I first saw it, but right now I can't remember like what it was about though. Right, this next one is from Limited Runs, like I said. That's called the Falconer Warrior Edition. This was up for sale on Limited Run's website for quite a while, and I think you can get it from like Best Buy, I'm pretty sure. The publisher, well, I think like the creator, whatever, it's Wired Productions. They are putting a lot of their stuff on Limited Runs. I think their newest game is currently up for sale right now with them. But, you know, I wanted to pick it up regardless, though, in case this just ends up being, like, valuable one day, because, hey, who knows. Alright, this next one, this came in, like, a few days ago. This was from NIS America's website, and I accidentally ordered 2 of these, because my first order, it was back in August when I placed it for this game, but in my account with NIS America, it didn't say in like this was listed in my orders page. So at first I thought like months later, like I forgot that I ordered it. I thought like I didn't have it ordered at that time and they were getting low on stock, so I went ahead and bought it. But until I looked back in my email, like around like last week it was, I realized, oh wait, I did actually pick this up like back in August there, but for some reason it wasn't in my my account there with NIS America. So got a hold of their support. They're taking like one of them back and gonna apply like a refund to getting a Disgaea 6 Complete Edition, limited edition for the PS5. But yeah, this one, it's Monarch. If I recall, this is kind of like a dark fantasy game that I don't remember what type of game it was though, but not only because it's like a limited edition from NIS America, but I do remember being like really intrigued with how this game looked with its trailers. So yeah, I do look forward to like playing it, as I believe it's on PC, which is probably where I'll play it on there. But yeah, regardless, I wanted to get a limited edition for it on the PS5 because, again, it looked pretty interesting to me at the time. Alright, now, rest of this stuff here, well, exception of one here, is all from my one trip that I mentioned at the beginning of this video up to Chaotic Games and Bob's Bullpen. But before I do that, this next one, this is the last thing I got that came from, that's game-related, that came online. That is Silent Hill, Japanese version, because I would love to have a North American version of Silent Hill. If you guys like saw my video that I made on the series a while back, you know, like I'm trying to get every single game in the franchise for like North American releases, but so we all know the prices of those are quite expensive. But thankfully, Japanese versions are still pretty affordable still. And I wanted to get this like either way though, because they have different box art variants of the entire series. So yeah, I wanted to get it for that namesake alone. And this is the very first Japanese PS1 game that I ever got to, and I was really like that. They come with their own spine card. And the disc I thought was pretty interesting. It's like a matte finish, it is, so yeah, quite happy to have this here, because, again, big fan of this series. I want to try and get, like, every game in the series on, like, different regions and all, like, versions on all different systems, what have you, which is not going to be fun, but, hey, we'll get there one day, though. Before I forget, the last thing that I got online was this. This is from Square Enix's website. It is a Nier Automata play arts figure of what was it, of 2B as a deluxe version. So it's basically like the main character you play as in Nier Automata 2B, but it also has the robot figure that you can't really see in the display window, but it's the one like companion robot that is with you for that game. So yeah, quite happy to have it. It's a really, really nice figure overall, so quite happy to have this. Alright, so back onto the other rest of the games here. So the first ones that I got from Chaotic Games was a few N64 stuff. That is Pokemon Snap. Yeah, I never had Pokemon Snap, but then again, I've recently been getting my first ever games for the system overall, and it's quite surprised that this is actually quite affordable, because it's like most Pokemon stuff for the last year, it's just like went up in value so much, understandably why, but yeah, quite happy to have it, though it is a cult classic game that I'm really happy that it did get a sequel on the Switch, but not going out of my way to play that anytime soon, but still really happy, though, that they got a new game in this weird spin-off type of series, so yeah, I'm good for fans of that game. Next one is Perfect Dark. This is the next game that Rare made after GoldenEye for the N64, and this game you did need the expansion, the RAM expansion pack, in order to play the entirety of this game. I think without it, you only had access to playing like certain modes in the game. Like I think they even stated you could only play like 20-30% of the entire game if you did not have the RAM expansion pack. But yeah, Perfect Dark, definitely a historic title for the N64, and a big landmark title in Rare's history that they are just nothing but a shell of their former selves right now, sadly. Alright, next one, it is Fighting Force for the PlayStation 1. I remember that I played this a lot for like its demo version on one of the copies of Tomb Raider that I had back then, that I remember that I played like the first stage of this quite often, that I wanted to like get it, and of course that didn't happen until now, as recently. But yeah, it's made by Core Design. They're the original creators of Tomb Raider. That's why that I played the demo of this originally on like a Tomb Raider game back then. I think it was Tomb Raider 2 that is what the demo was on. But yeah, quite happy to now have like a physical copy of this game. This next one, it is a Xbox double pack game that is Dead or Alive Ultimate. This release, it comes with Dead or Alive 1 and 2 Ultimate. This is really cheap, and even considering that if you look here, there's Dead or Alive 2 right there, obviously. But as you can see, Dead or Alive 1 right here is still sealed. Thought that was pretty interesting, and I'm a big fan of this fighting game franchise. It's probably my preferred 3D type of fighting games, just for like how dynamic the whole stages are, what you can do with them. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting to get this double pack here, and yeah, great to add it to the collection. Alright, next one. This is probably one of the biggest pickup that video game really, that I got while at Chaotic this month. That is FZero GX for the GameCube. As we all know, GameCube stuff has gone up in price quite a lot over the last year and a half. That really, like all like the well-known first-party Nintendo games, is what mostly has jumped up in price, and this being like one of them. And as we also know, this is the last F-Zero game Nintendo has ever gotten us, and I think they've like only given us 3 overall. And it's pretty sad to think that Captain Falcon, he is more well known for being a Smash character than the original game series that he was from, because he has more appearances in Super Smash Bros. Than actual F-Zero games. That is pretty sad for how Nintendo treats that IP. But it still holds up pretty well. It's a very good showcase title if you want to do like a progressive scan modes for the GameCube, if you have the ability to do that. But still recommend you can pick it up though if you're able to for a good price, because it still holds up pretty well today. Right, this next one, this is quite interesting that I got, as soon as I saw it, I had to get it. It's a PlayStation Underground demo disc version 2.4. This release, it has, it's 2 demo discs, and it came in like this folding sleeve here, that when you first open it, I really like that artwork of Crash and Coco, and then open it further up, you get 2 discs right there. You guys remember stuff like PlayStation Underground, PlayStation Magazine, like those days were so good when you could sign up for magazines and they would like send you even demo discs in the mail with your subscription. Because that was mostly how like people like us would know about upcoming game releases, was stuff like that. And I really do want to get into collecting more of those because they're very, very cheap for the demo discs overall, but it's nice to just get those because those are like history, and to show you like how marketing was for the game industry back then. Right, this next one, it is my only DS game. It's called Diner Dash Flow on the Go. Diner Dash, if you haven't played it before, I recommend it if you do like management type games. Basically, you play as like this waitress that you just wait tables at a restaurant, and I know it doesn't sound much, but if you actually like play the game, you'll understand that there is more to it than I'm letting on. Though I do recommend like other games besides this if you want to get into it. There is like PC versions out there of these games that I recommend you play on there, because mouse controls for the way this game handles is best played that way. So yeah, if you're into management games, I recommend you get this, or like another game, like I said. Alright, next one is Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I'm not a big fan of Sonic at all, if you guys have seen me in my previous videos, but this is still a very, very good collection of a lot of Sega's older titles. Like, I'd say this release is like one of the best collections they have ever done when it comes to their legacy titles. That if you want to get into like Sega's history but have like a single release that has most of their well-known games throughout history, is like highly recommend you get this release. Next one, this is a, I believe it's originally a sealed game, but it's a shrink wrap, but it's a PSP game. It's called Pipe Mania. This is like, it's a puzzle game that I want to say is similar to like the BioShock plumbing hacking game, minigame, whatever you want to call that. If you were into like that type of puzzle mechanic, like I would recommend that you pick this up. It does look good for that. This next one is my only PS2 game. It is Extermination. This, I don't recall much on this game, but it does look like an interesting third-person action game. Do look forward to trying it out, though, as it does, from like looking at like back here, like the gameplay does look pretty cool on it. It is a Sony published title, so that you know for sure it's definitely got some quality with it. Alright, a couple more PSP games here. The first one, it is Untold Legends: The Warrior's Code. I don't recall much on this game. I do believe it is like an RPG type of game. Was pretty affordable for the price that I got it for, and it is a Sony published title as well, so again, you'll know that it's quality. Next one is another RPG from Konami. It is Rengoku 2, The Stairway to Heaven. This is like an RPG game, like I mentioned. I don't remember seeing much gameplay on it, but it seems to be like an action RPG type of game. I could be wrong on that, though, but regardless, it looked pretty interesting. The developer of it was Hudson Soft. That should tell you anything of what the potential quality of it is. And then the last one, it is Untold Legends, Brotherhood of the Blade. I think this is the first game of the Untold Legends games. I think the one that I showed you earlier was the sequel, if I recall. But yeah, it's pretty similar to like the other Untold Legends game that I showed you right there. Alright, last few things here. Got a new console, a Sega Genesis Model 1. I do have a Model 2 Sega Genesis, but I also just had to get like the original iconic Model 1 Genesis here. So you know there is like two different versions of the Model 1. One of them is this, as you can see. But the first runs of the system, they had like text on the very top here, where I think it said high definition graphics, something like that. It's like high definition you can get for these systems back then. But yeah, really happy to get it though, and I do hear that when it comes to EverDrives, it's preferred to get Model 1 Genesis if you're going to be using EverDrives with them, so that way you get the most guaranteed compatibility with it. At least that's what I've heard, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, still like a very affordable system to get that. I do look forward to getting into the system's library whenever I do get an EverDrive for it. Right, this last thing. This is a shout out to my dad, and this right here has a lot of memories for me. It is a Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 1 guidebook from Prima Games. So this guidebook right here, this is the source of a lot of memories for me. It's back when I was really young. I did have like Tomb Raider 1, 2, and The Last Revelation on PS1. And I remember me and my dad, we would play those games a lot together. And doing so, we had like these guidebooks here. Like this exact guidebook we had for Tomb Raider 1 and 2. And we did have the Last Revelations guidebook as well. As I don't have that yet, but yeah, I just wanted to get this again because, again, this has so much memories for me. And I've now been growing more appreciation to have for video game guidebooks because, you know, Prima Games, they're no longer a thing, sadly, because, yeah, guidebooks, it's, understandably, it's totally irrelevant these days, thanks to the internet, of course, but there's a certain charm with guidebooks. I see that not only is it like a guide that has a lot of like stuff that of course you would find online, but it's also like an art book in a way too. Some of it has like exclusive art that was only released in them. And it's interesting to see how like some people like describe the game before we had the internet and all that. But yeah, I think there's definitely a charm for like still collecting guidebooks these days that I am going to consider getting more of them over time, especially Prima Games, as I definitely liked their guidebooks back then. But yeah, Dad, if you're watching, shout out to you for this here, because I bet this brings back a lot of memories for you too. So yeah, other than that, that will do it for this month's pickups video. Once again, I appreciate your guys' patience with me of waiting for this video to come out. That I hope the wait was worth it for you for all the stuff that I got here. And like I said, so now that I have like a new phone that does have like 4K quality videos that I can record with it, this will probably be my main method to record with it. And I am getting like an adapter so I can continue using my lav mic that I previously used, because, you know, smartphones these days don't have 3.5mm jacks anymore, so you need adapters, of course. So yeah, the next uploads you see is like the audio quality will sound as what you're normally used to with me, and plus I will have like a better setup for the phone because it is like ghetto rigged right here, so do expect like a better shot of it next upload you see for me. So yeah, once again, thanks for your support, guys, and your patience and all that. Do rate this video, share with your friends, and do comment below what you guys got, or what was your favorite thing that you got this month, or what was your favorite game that you played throughout February. So I know I've recently played Elden Ring, and gotta say, that is a very, very good game. So, alright guys, do subscribe for more content like this in the future. Until then, I'll see you next time.